Record.
Thank you.
Intro.
Bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Welcome to Everyone Racers,
a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture.
It doesn't matter what kind of Lemmy Champ or Lucky Track Dog league you run.
SCCA or NASA, we don't discriminate.
as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself.
Join us each week for tech discussion,
Tips, tricks,
As well as news and notes from the world of amateur endurance racing.
whether it's on the spot.
hella sweet,
Or we're lucky enough in
Chrissy,
Chrissy,
I give you just the tip.
we're sure you'll giggle a little.
and learn even less.
Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
this is Tim.
And I'm mental.
Yay.
And we are Everyone Racers. Welcome to the Scaled Composites Model 367 Bipod episode. The 367 is an experimental flying car developed by Scaled Composites. It was the first aircraft designed by Burt Rutan prior to his retirement. Sorry, final, not first. Final aircraft. Bipod uses twin fuselages joined by a wing surface. Each fuselage has tandem wheels. The wings, stabilizers, and tail tips are removable for road operations. The bipod is driven as a car from the cockpit in the left-hand fuselage and flown as an aircraft from the cockpit in the right-hand fuselage. The wings can be carried between the two fuselage sections during road operation. The wingspan of nearly 32 feet is reduced to 8 feet when the wings are removed. The vehicle can be parked in a regular-sized garage stall when the wings and tail surfaces have been removed. Each fuselage section has a 450cc gasoline engine which drives an electric generator. The generators power 15 kilowatt electric motors. 2 such motors drive the rear wheels for land use, and 4 such motors drive the propellers, which 2 on the horizontal stabilizers and 2 on the wings. Now, although not installed to date as of July 2011, the testbed configuration will eventually incorporate rechargeable lithium batteries for additional power during takeoff for extra climb performance. Well, that never happened because 14 years later. Anyway, in addition to, as of the first flight, the propellers and propeller drive motors have not been installed, and they won't be ever, and the flights consisted of brief hops above a runway after the drive wheels had been used to accelerate the vehicle to 80 miles an hour. Now, tipping the scales at 1,430 pounds and a max speed of 200 miles an hour, theoretically, this vehicle has a theoretical range of 530 miles at 100 miles an hour in the air and 820 miles on land, 35 miles on land with a battery. Rutan came up with some cool stuff. Not all of it worked.
It looks like crazy. It looks like it flew, but yeah, I mean, you know,
My favorite part about this vehicle is when you look at the details on Wikipedia, it says crew 1. Like, how are you gonna go from one side to the other?
You're gonna jump.
You're gonna slide through the little section.
When it says crew, that means other people that are not the pilot. That's what it means when it says crew. Okay. So you get to have one other person.
One other person
driving the other half of the plane.
I swear to God, if you don't learn how to drive this car, I'm going to put it right into the sky.
It's cool
like
looking.
Buy Chris one of these for Christmas.
Okay.
Sure.
That would be cool.
I'd probably have to get it on Racing Junk as a new way to die.
Totally.
That's the only place you can get them.
Yeah. They only have one picture, so we can just cheap out on the membership too.
Not us. We're real Racing Junk members. We've got a good one. Yeah, it's fine.
No, if we're selling something, but if we're going to try to buy it, we only buy it from people that have one picture. And that's the one without the wings.
Yeah, taken through a potato in the back of a barn at night in the rain. Yeah. I know what I got.
Through a potato?
Artist depiction.
I've not heard of through the potato. That's a fun one. Potato. Okay, what you working on? Mental.
So just this past weekend, I did a new little goofy YouTube thing. So Jeeves going to be on it, and Florida Man Donnie's going to be on it. It's called Between Two Posts. Check it out from Dropped Gear. We'll have a link to that one. I thought it was funny. He sent me, he's like, hey, could you answer these questions on a video? And then he went and shot his video around it. It's supposed to feel kind of awkward. I am vehicle shuffling because I've been abusing my storage for quite some time, and they finally sent me a letter that said, stop it. These two tubes with wheels on them are not cars, and your other car doesn't have plates on it, and you can't keep all that stuff with your RV. So I had to bring all that home. So that added to the pile. And then I fetched our 2025 Sorry for Party rally vehicle, put the video on our various conversations, which all of this has led to wife annoyance, but she can still park her car. Actually, she has more room in the garage now because there's a Formula V next to it, not a Porsche. So she could be all that. Conference has got work all week. It's holiday party season. So, every Friday you're cooking something for a potluck. And I just got back from Atlanta, where I got to see my brother and his lovely wife and celebrate my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. And I got to drive his new Tesla truck, Cybertruck. Mm-hmm. And mocked it all the way until I drove it. And I didn't hate it.
He didn't wrap it, did he?
Oh, he had to, because it's got that polish. He said he loved the silver, and then someone touched it, and you have to wipe. And then he had to
news about that?
He had to spray tire cleaner on there, and it never got off the aluminum, so he wrapped it. What's the news about the?
So the news about wrapping the Cybertruck is that when you peel it off after time, there is rust all between the wrap and the panels.
Then wrap it again. It's fine.
Stainless.
There you go. Little CLR. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Don't take the wrap off. Just leave it on. Yeah. It's fine.
Exactly. Cybertruck patina will be a trend in the future. It'll be great.
But if everybody's got it, then you're just like, well, that's just what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Just clear coat over it. It's fine.
The most interesting aspect of that car is it's electric steering, obviously, and it's speed sensitive. But in a parking lot, lock to lock, 1.5. Bam, bam. And it's 4-wheel steering, and that thing will friggin' rotate around a manhole cover. So
that's cool.
Does it feel as long as it looks like it is?
It feels that long, but it's not. And part of the illusion is the dashboard inside the vehicle is huge, but the nose is very, very short. And then when I put it in the parking garage, my brother's like, you've got like 1.5 feet you could still pull in. And I was just, scared to death to bump the thing into and, bend all that aluminum. But
the big angle at the back just feels like it's like a limo. Like that's what it looks like. It just looks like it's so long.
It does.
I guess I haven't seen it like in a parking garage. I just saw one on the road. We don't have many around us, but I saw one a day or two ago. And when you look at it, you're just like the angle that's in the back just makes it look like it's long.
It does, but size of park it next to an F-150, about the same size.
Probably.
Okay.
Chris, are you here?
Hi, Chris.
I'm here. There's just a delay
okay, great.
between anyone talking and the actual video, but I'm here.
Hi, Chris.
I took my old. This is so terrible because I'm talking and I know you guys talk and this is not working. Anyway, I took the old low cost out of the garage and took all the suspension and things off of it so the new owner could pack it up. And he came with a crew cab short bed Chevy, and we stuck a low cost frame, 4 wheels, an engine, transmission, all the suspension, and all kinds of other stuff in that truck, with the frame hanging considerably over the tailgate. But it all fit, and he is driving himself back to Tennessee with that. So, Andy, good luck with that. I really hope it works out for you. I think you'll probably do more with it than I would, so that's great. The family Mazda 3 Cockroach got a new front bumper thanks to Mental's incorrect ordering. So that's installed now along with a new under tray. And banged out some fender dents that were there on that. So that's slightly better now than it was before, because everyone, when a raw unpainted black plastic bumper is an improvement on a car, then you know that's the kind of quality that we're talking about. And got back to flying the plane for a couple hours this past weekend. It plane flew great after a fresh annual. All was well. So cleaned up the garage a little bit, got the NSX back in. So going into winter project mode.
Yep. I had a library fundraiser this weekend, and we've been keeping up with driving lessons. So trying to.
Oh, you're still doing that. That's awesome.
Well, she still doesn't have a license, so I still have to do it.
How is your student doing?
My student is doing fine. We've had mostly good days. We had some struggles yesterday. Not yesterday, day before. Yeah, we've been going at least twice a week, and we start in local parking lots, and then we kind of drive on back roads. Since obviously it's dark out now. We're going on roads and windy, and but she's doing fine. We're still trying to work on backing to parking lots or parking spaces, and perfecting that and pretending like you're not in a vacant parking lot and there's cars around. And I was like, well, you would have hit that car, so let's not hit that car. And then we're gonna delve into parallel parking. So yeah, we got plenty to do. We haven't been on the highway yet, so. Yeah, it's a long road, but she's motivated and interested and takes feedback well, so we'll keep doing it. But it's taking up many nights of a week.
Did you make her fill out paperwork for the imaginary car that she hit?
That's Chris's job.
I did not.
Chris is doing the virtual insurance training. That's
well, she has to submit it to Chris, doesn't she?
That's good. Yes, I will. I'll tell her. I mean, I feel like yes, she knows that. She's trying. So it's all good. Tim, what are you up to?
I am recording from St. Thomas. So we are here with our friends, the Hatches. We come here every year this time of year. And so I'm working on my tan, which is coming along nicely. So that's good, which is perfect because we have a race coming up at Sonoma where I'll be judging, and we're doing a theme, and having fairly tanned, pigmented skin is going to come in handy for my role as a judge. More on that to follow. I am working on the 2025 Lemon schedule for 3 parts of that. We've got the racing that I want to do, some staffing, judging, also possibly helping out Kim with some tippy-tap stuff. And then we're planning on doing a rally. So that's one that's coming up pretty quickly. Things are progressing. It's going to be super, super fun. We're really, really looking forward to the rally in Vegas this year. And actually it is happening. I got a call from my contractor today. They are 2 days into framing, and they are standing walls up in the garage tomorrow. So excited. So I'll be going back either just before Christmas or just after New Year's to check out the final inspection. They hope to have everything done by Christmas. Final sign off, send them a really big check, and then go have fun in my garage. So yay.
Did you see pictures?
He's going to send me pictures tomorrow when they stand the walls up. So they're framing stuff on the floor right now. They've got a small like cherry picker crane that's coming in where they'll stand everything up, and then they'll drop in the I-beams. I've got 16-inch manufactured I-beams. They're going to drop along the whole span. It's 30 by 40. So we'll do I-beams on the 30 all the way down. So there'll be no columns throughout the floor. It'll be full open floor plan. 16 and a half feet tall. So I can get my 12 and a half foot lift in there. So we're good to go.
So jealous.
Things are happening. It's so exciting.
Little Camp is going to be so dwarfed by this monstrosity.
Oh my God.
so
it is, Little Camp is 660 square feet, and this is going to be 2,400 square foot monolith looming over Little Camp. So.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
Can't wait.
Okay, it's news and notes time.
Hey, can anybody recall what's going on with General Motors? That's right. More recalls. Now, according to an article by Union Rayo, link, of course, in the show notes, the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration has sent a recall notice to Chevrolet because its batteries are potentially flammable, which has alerted thousands of owners concerned about the safety of their vehicles. The models recalled are the Chevy Bolt EV and EUV from 2020 to 2022. NHTSA believes that the latest diagnostic software is at fault. If not installed correctly, the vehicle might miss battery modules that need to replace, and that increases fire risk. Hey, remember the last time they recalled the Bolt EV and they said just keep them outside? Well, now it's also keep it at 90% charge level. Don't let the range fall below 70 miles. And of course, park your vehicles outside. This is one of 4 different recalls in the last 5 years. Now, it's a much smaller amount. This is 142,000 vehicles compared to the 2021 when it was a complete production stop. And GM has established a $150 million fund to compensate customers. Predictably, the owners are divided. Some are happy that GM uncharacteristically responded so quickly, and others are just understandably frustrated. And we've got a link to all of that in our show notes.
So if you race a Chevy Bolt, you are entitled to compensation.
Also,
Exactly.
batteries have a fire risk. It's a battery, especially in a car. So, like, Teslas catch fire all the time. So, duh.
Yep.
Sometimes stored energy doesn't like to be stored. Weird.
Who the fuck
Escape!
Free.
Escape! Run away!
Hey, car dealers are dumb, and they do lots of dumb things with cars in their lot to get attention, like, those Jeeps up on fake rocks and whatnot. So Emmett White, a car and driver, brings us a story of a Chrysler Dodge dealer who, in 1996, installed a first-generation Dodge Viper RT on a towering platform high above the rural dealership, and then left it there ever since. Now, the dealership is bringing the iconic car down from its perch for reconditioning and cleaning after 28 years of wear and tear and birds and weather. And based on the photos posted to Facebook that reveal the removal process, the Viper is long overdue for those front vent coves. They're packed full of pine needles and leaves. The entire engine bay is covered in the calling cards of various small animals. The paint is covered in moss. The clear coat seems to have faded and peeled entirely away. The plastic sliding side curtains have turned green from exposure. It's looking a little rough. So Autobahn Chrysler's Alec Gervin says the sports car only had 12 miles on the odometer when it was placed up there, and it hasn't been removed since. The Viper was purchased new by Larry Bennett, owner of Autobahn Chrysler, specifically for this sort of advertisement, and the dealership is planning to repaint it and change the horrible, even in 1996, chrome wheels that are on it now before remounting it on the sign in a month or so. They say they're not going to try to get it running because they're not going to drive it anywhere. It's just going back on the sign. So why bother?
Huh. Wow.
Poor car.
That's, yeah, right.
That is impressive because the people forget that the first generation Viper just had a pop out sliding window and removable top. That was what you got. Those were your options.
As terrible as those cars were, I would love to own one for a short period of time.
Totally. Yeah. I know they handle terribly and they drive like a truck and it's a truck motor. Don't care.
Awful cars. Yeah. Don't care. Please punish me with it, please.
In the early 90s, I was stationed in Germany, and a service member who'd just come back from a 1-year remote and had a bunch of money actually bought one of those. So there was a green first generation Viper driving around Ramstein Air Force Base in Kaiserslautern, and it was green.
Oh, this one was almost green, so it's
Okay. Do I have I don't have an intro for this.
Do you know where this car should have been posted?
Boom. There you go.
Plinth.
Sure.
On racingjunk.com.
Yes.
What did you find?
All right. Well,
Behave yourself, Chrissy. Just calm down.
Can't wait.
there is.
I'm so
there
excited.
is on sale, because who doesn't like a good chick magnet? So we got a 72 Ford Pinto chick magnet. It's got an Exterminator 460 block board and stroked 4.5 by 4.5, 572 cubic inches of excellence. Top of the line C4 reverse pattern trans with brake and from performance automatic. It's got a TCI shifter with neutral safety or reverse lockout, JW Performance, Ultra Bell shatterproof bell housing, Ford 9-inch with 370 gears, 31 spline Dutchman axles, mild steel headers, 2-inch stepped up to 2 1/8 ceramic coated Victor 460 intake with Holly 1050 Dominators and 2-inch super suckers. It's got an ATI super damper, BMI line lock, MSD digital 6ALO MSD billet distributor with Caltrans monoleaf springs, competition engineering wheelie bar, Fuel Lab electric fuel pump at 160 gallons per hour, a custom 12-gallon fuel cell. That'll get you all the way to the end of the line with a bypass regulator, mild steel cage, certified 8.5, $23,000 or best offer of $14 and a pack of Busch Light. Also available a TNT 24-foot trailer for $5,000 or $25,000 for both. Another great way to die from racing junk.
I'm confused by this ad because clearly they paid the money and there's more than one picture, but then they don't have any pictures of the trailer.
And there's only 4 pictures.
3?
So like you paid them. That was one of them. Oh, okay. I didn't open it. I was just looking on your screen.
No, it's all good. Yeah.
So you have 3 pictures. You paid money to have this on, and that's all you have. That's it.
I mean, obviously, that's all you need. Look at the back end of that thing, Chrissy. Come on.
I'm sorry. It is a chick magnet. I forgot.
Not a chick magnet.
Oh,
the chick magnet.
Chick magnet. I mean, aren't you getting all fuzzy looking at it like that?
I am so excited by this.
It's got a super damper. Come on.
It's a lovely color.
It has a bucket inside
It's a nice blue.
to put all the panties that are thrown at you.
Is that a window net? Nope, that's just girl panties.
Excellent. It is a cool car. And I love how you basically started that ad in Maine. And by the time you finished it, you were in Florida. The accent that you went
Worked
through.
my way right down the coast, baby.
It is a cool car. And if you were into drag racing, this is the way to go. Because I feel like half that safety equipment he listed is probably required for whatever this thing is running. But dear Lord, like, yeah, the head girdles and all that other kind of stuff and the wheelie bar, because that thing is clearly a wheel stander. Yeah, that would be, I think you could die faster in that than you could in that Viper.
Yeah,
Well,
totally.
Viper doesn't run, so there's that.
Yeah, that's true. Not full of bird poop, it's full of panties.
Sure. Okay, we're going to move on to upcoming races. Okay, and AER is at NJMP Thunderbolt. There are a whopping 45 cars. 30 of them are BMWs.
Ah! So
Come on.
boring.
It ain't
Really?
so.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 Miata.
Wrong
Oh,
button, sorry. I said
I guess it's a Zing or something.
I don't know.
Okay. 1 Honda, 4 Porsches, a Scion FRS, a 2002 Protege, an S10 that is
There you
the
go.
team name is called Team Truck Stuff, one word, and the Dodge Omni of Scope Creep, who we race with, and I'm friends with.
I don't think those AER guys, those BMW
One
guys are
of these
ready.
things is not like the other. Which one of these things does not belong?
I don't think they're ready for scope creep. I don't think they understand how quick that Dodge Omni is. I think they're going to get schooled.
Probably not.
It's going to be fun.
It will be fun. Yep.
I don't know.
Whopping
I'm into
45
truck stuff.
cars.
Don't tell anybody.
Truck stuff. I thought that was fun. Okay. Okay. It's listener feedback time.
It is.
Okay. On the YouTube, Paul John said, next SEMA, I want to see an EV Restomod Doba.
Oh,
Yes.
Cordoba.
I'm actually excited about that prospect. That's a really cool idea, you know. Except you have to get like the electronic remix when it's an EV Cordoba. On our Instagram video that ignored what turned out to be the fake Lamborghini Miata in favor of that Renault, Steph Schrader said, "Yes, Dauphine!" While Meta.Racing noticed they were just looking at those cars and done before the Speedster was also a fan of that Renault. That's right. Everyone racers, tastemakers before everyone else knows about it. We knew what was good.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And on the walkthrough of the Featherlight Stacker, Queers for Gears observing that going to need more than an F-250 to pull that. And our picture of the SEMA carbon fiber bra yielded these comments. Rafi Ward said, I heard of bolt-ons, but this is ridiculous.
Soggy said, lace is lighter than carbon fiber. Al Jones said, this overlanding craze is getting out of control.
Oh, you know who would never wear carbon fiber underwear nor hurl it into the window of a Pinto drag car?
Sure.
Those bolt-ons aren't ridiculous.
Oh.
Okay.
Hello,
sorry,
Chrissy's
Chris.
Hi, Mom. Okay. It's big time!
It is. Folks, you knew it was coming, not just because I posted it on all of our socials, but because we do it every year. It's the Hippie Thanksgiving Feels episode, Attitude of Gratitude, what we're thankful for this year, loosely organized. We could see already, earlier today, Tim texted all of us and told Chris to start drinking and suck it up and be ready for this hippie nonsense. I think he took his own advice, and it's awesome on that one. But this is probably something of an overly suspicious thing of mine, but I don't know if it's also just a contextual shift. But I do truly believe that if you don't stop and recognize all the good things that have happened, you may not necessarily deserve them, and they will not continue to be there because the people that make those things happen are like, well, I did this thing for this person and they didn't even notice, so screw them. Maybe the universe is that way too. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it and I just want a chance to tell everyone and everything that has happened to me that I'm grateful for the opportunities. And my co-hosts just begrudgingly come with me. They give me this one every year, and I'm thankful for that.
Is that what you're thankful for? So then we can all. Oh, show's over. See ya!
All right. Thanks for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition.
I mean, it is bedtime, but
We shortened the edition.
a little longer.
Oh, so racing. We've done some racing this year. All of us together, apart. It's been a jam.
We did. Okay.
I like racing.
We should start a podcast.
Oh, about race cars?
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about some people that we've just had racing this year. Chris, if you wanted to jump in on this one.
I'll say that, as usual, almost all of the Lemons community. No, that's clearly an almost all. The rest of you know who you are. Really, every race has so many friends and so many other nice people we continue to meet. And it struck me, I was in Wisconsin at Road America, and every time I turn around, there's someone I know that doesn't live there at all either. And it's like, oh, hey, good to see you. And that's always fun. You know, wherever we go, there's nice friends around.
Timmy.
I completely agree. I'll say this: I am a person that tends to live in the now, and I don't really let things in the past bother me. But because of that, I tend to not like reflect back too often and look back on the year. But this was a cool opportunity for me to really just kind of dig in and sit down for a minute and think about all of the things that I experienced this year. And I've got to say that the people, my racing peeps on the West Coast, I'm so thankful for the whole crew, the whole Sorry for Party crew with Matt and Lish and Dean and Jackie. And we've got a couple of newbies this year with Jeff Gates, and Mike and Anonymous Dave. And then like Corey and I talk nonstop all the time. And being able to get to know Dr. Mary and the national F and champion Neil Losi racing with us all the time. I mean, they're just such good people. And we have this group where we're all on different team names, but we always paddock together. We always do meals together, do life together with Jimmy and Rick James and Ron from Table for One Racing. It's just, I feel so blessed for it. And then to be able to extend that out to the East Coast with the 3-pedal crew, and then meeting like the Fishers and getting to know Jeremy and Nick and Ryan from Monkey House. It's this is starting to feel like an Oscar acceptance speech, and the music's going to come on soon. But I'm like, it just gave me a chance to really like feel good
The hook is
about
coming out.
all of the people. Yeah, the hook's coming. Whoosh. All the people that I get to spend time with, and I really, really appreciate it, and like as much or more than the actual racing. So it's awesome to be able to hang with all those folks. Chrissy.
I agree with the first two, but I also have to say that I love meeting UNR friends and listeners that we get to meet in real life. I know we were going to talk about the podcast later, but I think it's great, and I think we've found more friends because people have asked us questions, have wanted to do track walks. They want to, like, that we just would not necessarily have had much reason to befriend or talk to them. And that this has kind of brought us together. So it's racing, but when we talk to people at races, I think that's fun. So that's mine.
And it's easy to keep jumping on this, but this is what I typed out too. This year started hard for me, and I was pulling away from racing, but I kept going to the track. And what I got to do so many times this year was just reaffirm relationships with people that I've had just a lot of sit down, have a Coke, and have a great conversation with someone that I've met through this ridiculous hobby. And it made a difference and kind of underscored it's very easy to get caught up in the racing, but none of us do it for the racing. I mean, the racing's fun, but if we wanted to just race, there are any number of other places we can do it. And we have found a place where the social is as important, if not more, than everything else that goes with it.
Agreed. We lost
All right.
Chris.
I believe we have lost Chris again.
Where is Chris?
I
well,
think
that's
he,
okay.
I think he
I think he
hung up.
just turned his computer off.
Screw y'all.
F you,
Had
hippie.
enough of this.
I'm out.
I
Feel
mean,
good,
if he
hippie
wants,
crap. I'm out.
he
Yep.
could just come downstairs. And
He's
we can
just
talk about
pounding
my
shots
program.
of whiskey right there in the office. Clang,
It's also
clang.
it's Wednesday. We don't usually do shots of whiskey on Wednesday evening, but that's okay. Well, great. It's very fortunate that. What?
I hear him doing dishes.
Def not.
Okay,
I don't know who that is.
Okay, somebody's doing. Is that in your place, Tim? That was even funnier. Chris is just throwing dishes around the
making
kitchen.
a giant rum and coke right now, I think.
dark. It's all good. No one in the kitchen. I have not seen Chris yet, so I'm not sure where he is. But
Fair enough.
fortunately, we can move on to the next one, and both of ours is the same. So I'll speak for him. We're talking about places next of where racing, our favorite, where we're thankful for different places, and both of ours are Le Mans. It was a super cool experience. Oh, he's back. So that was a super cool experience. Glad we did it. I'm speaking for you, Chris, since you decided to leave us. But both of our experiences were when we went to Le Mans. So that's ours. Anyone?
Welcome back from Le Mans, Chris.
You guys made the
Weird.
most of that trip too. That was like we were all living
Thanks.
vicariously through you on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I was
it-
really, really jelly of you guys. That's such a cool trip. Such a cool trip.
Well, we've been talking about it for years, and we decided when we're out there, we're going to go do all the things. So it was like 4 vacations in one. So
Absolutely.
pretty epic.
Go big or stay home. I got to go to Road America, and I didn't think I was going to make it out there this year, and totally worth it, by the way. Was having a conversation with a team in Houston, and they were debating skipping NOLA to go to Barber. They're like, yeah, we just heard good things about Barber. And I'm going to relate this to my Road America experience. If you have an opportunity to go to a new track in lieu of one you haven't been to, especially one that you're excited about, go. Just open up that aperture. Do it. And going to Road America, it was a great experience with half the people that Tim just listed off on there. And yeah, I loved every minute of that. That was fantastic.
And you got your taxes done while being on track, which was awesome. So you could just, make that all happen, going down the straight. You're like, these numbers, and then you push enter, and then it's like, oh, you're saving $500. And you're like, okay, next time around, I can do a little bit more.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yes.
Well,
Every lap,
I made a promise to try to go to a new track every year. And this year I didn't. I didn't race at one. I went to High Plains in the 24-hour, which is on my to-do list to race, but I went as a judge. And I'm kind of going into my experiences column on this one too, but man, did I have a good time doing that. And I think it takes a special kind of dumb to be able to go and judge for a 24-hour race. And
Completely
boy, I
agreed.
just check all those boxes, and I can't wait to do it again. So it was a blast.
To judge a 24?
Oh yeah, it was so much fun. I was up the whole time.
And he didn't
Like,
sleep.
I slept for like
before he
30
got
minutes.
there.
Yeah.
And then he didn't sleep on the way home.
No.
Yeah, I went full send, like burn all of the candles at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a blast. And I'm going to put my name in the hat again. So Eric Rude, if you're listening, mark me up, buddy, because I'm coming in hot.
Same. There will be
Super
nothing
fun.
wrong with having a sleep-deprived mental and a sleep-deprived Tim Burr at a track. You cannot fail.
I would say that I would be a failure. So I
I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
Yeah.
Nope.
So much fun.
Oh,
I didn't like the
All right, moving
24
on to
when I
experiences.
wasn't racing. Yes, go ahead. Yep. Oh man, your computer's
Oh, he froze again.
struggling today.
Yeah, I don't know if I would enjoy racing a
No,
24.
I'm just
gonna
waiting for
do
you
one.
guys to stop with it.
So much delay.
Here's what I'm not grateful for:
Uh-huh.
the software. The software delay is terrible. Anyway.
We've talked about the software delay, but your computer is because like Chrissy's
It's
kind of keeping
even
up
more.
with
I
us.
can hear Chrissy downstairs, and anyway.
Yeah, I feel like your computer's adding a few seconds to it.
Sure, whatever.
we'll
Anyway,
get-
I'm
we'll get it
excited.
fixed.
Experiences. I'm happy we won B class. Yay, B class win. That's
That's mine.
after a long time.
That's mine too.
That was one of the goals for 2024. That was awesome. Yeah.
Oh, we had a Class C win in the El Camino, which means that we didn't blow up one of the major drivetrain components for the first time ever. Thank you very much. So that was awesome. We did that in February. We had a super fun theme too. but like I judged a bunch this year for the first time, and I really, really liked it. I did a full teardown of a motor and like down to zero and put it all back together. Now it hasn't breathed yet, but that's okay. We're going to work on that. It's close. It coughed a couple of times. So when I get back in town, we're going to make sure it screams and makes angry noises again. And then meeting all the new folks. I love that part about being a judge, and just you get to interact with so many people, and you can be there with them and help them through their troubles and their challenges. And if you're doing it right, they feel like you're a teammate and not, an opponent. And that's what I really like about it. Like, I want everybody that comes through penalty or comes through tech to feel like I'm on your team. Like, I'm going to give you a hard time, but it's because I love you, not because I'm trying to, be a jerk. So that's super, super fun. And being invited to be a part of the E1R team this year, that's been a hell of a lot of fun for me. So thank you guys for that.
We're happy to have you.
Well, thank you.
I really enjoyed the Johan tribute at HPR, and at that same race. And this was the non-24, the second one at HPR, and then but starting at that 24, and then also at the non-PR, watching Taz get bit by the racing bug, field their own race car, their own race team, manage everything. That was just, it reminds you of why you do it, watching some of them do it. And in that same ilk, early in the year, being a part of that Sierra College track day that EU Tech put together, and all those folks out there, and just watching all these young people kind of just start molding into the hobby on that one. That was one of those very rewarding aspects.
Are we going to do that again, by the way, Mental? Have we talked about a 2.0 version of that?
I hope so. The president of Sierra Car Club has moved on to a different university. He was just out here or the student president, he was just out here for SEMA with a crew, and I'm still in touch with all those folks. So yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I'd love to do that again. We'll see what their new goals are for that team for the new school year. A bunch of them should be at Sonoma.
Cool. We did ask for some people's ideas of what they were thankful for. So we have a couple quotes from here on the Insta. Rescuing Rosie said that they were thankful for a new job, big money, no whammy.
No whammy. Stop. While Pirate Victory Racing said, missed the turn 5 pileup at Road America. Thank you very much.
That's a good thing to be thankful for. I like it.
Yes. Yeah. That was a lot of good things.
That's a doozy.
So we've got this show that we talk about racing on. We've got a software delay that's upsetting my co-host. And on that show, we meet people. We get to go places. We do things. What's some highlights that you guys have had this year?
I'll start.
Okay.
Since Chris is still waiting to connect. I love you, Chris.
No, I'm here. I just never know when you're going to hear what I say. Like, I started talking a while ago and it didn't work, and it talks over anybody. So just ignore me for the show. Go have a good time.
No, just jump in. We'll stop. It'll be fine.
Just put a hand up. I'd like to be part of the show now.
By the time we put a hand up, then we're going to have a big gap, and then eventually I'll be able to talk.
Wrong.
Yeah. But I mean, I hear that from everybody. Anyway, fine. E1R listeners are wonderful people. It's nice to meet these people, and I wouldn't have met most of them if not for the show. So thanks for talking to us, and it's nice to meet all you folks. That's all.
Same. He actually literally copied and pasted my words. So same.
Same. I will point out a specific person. Mental turned me on to the Apex Adjacent podcast through this show a long time ago, and I've been listening to those guys forever. And I got to meet one of those guys, Dave, in Meat Space at the 24 hour at HPR. It was super nice to meet him, and it was fun. Sadly, he and his team were doing unexpected repairs to the top end of the motor, which I think they've since done a few times. Hopefully they've got that fixed up. Well, I'm sure I'll hear about that in the podcast. So Dave, great to meet you guys, and good luck. And of course to my co-hosts, love you guys.
Yeah, they did get to finish at the fall HPR. They brought that theme and that car back, and they finished that race. So that was awesome. Yeah, both those guys are great. And
they're awesome.
Our new interaction over at racingjunk.com, Bobby Chalmers, he's really nice. He was at SEMA, came over, introduced himself, and it was just funny. You know, we meet tons of people, and sometimes I don't always connect the faces, and it even took him a second. But Scott, the guy who has run the Racing Junk booth at all of these events, he remembered us from PR. He remembered me from years ago, and he remembered us from PRI. And he was like, "Hey man, I'm really sorry. It's going to be really noisy." Oh wait, you don't care if it's noisy? No, we don't. We absolutely don't care. So just seeing all those guys from Racing Junk, that was just, that's especially when you haven't run into them for a while and you see them again, you remember, oh man, those are just good people.
Okay. What's next? Places. I don't have much. You see my couch every week, so there's that.
Chrissy literally put on her notes, my living room couch, it's comfy.
So you see, that's where I am. I have a nice little blanket on today because it's cold here. So
yeah, and we've gotten to do some really cool opportunities, the Pittsburgh Grand Prix and PRI and SEMA and all that kind of stuff. We didn't get much of that this year, and not complaining at all, because if we never get another opportunity out of this, it's been an amazing ride. But I'll say just experiences how we were set up when we started this year. And this has been an evolving show since we started versus where we are really now. And, you know, there's especially the grumpy old guy here. We have a tendency to fear change, and yet here we are. And I do love the way this is going. I like the direction the show has gone.
I think it's super fun to look back on the stuff that you guys have done. And I'm looking forward to like going to SEMA with Mental next year, and maybe he and I can sneak away for a couple of things. And if we can drag Chris or Chrissy away from life for a minute, that'd be amazing as well. But, you know, I think I travel a lot. Obviously my backdrop changes like what feels like every friggin' week, but, hopefully I'll have a little bit more of a routine, and I can have like a proper podcast set up place and be able to get a little bit more dialed in and do some things to really bring something different to our listeners, which would be fun.
Oh yeah. And if you're coming out here, I'll take that week off. Normally I'm stuck doing a conference, but sorry, man, SEMA time. I'm out.
I'm in.
Yeah. We're going to
book it.
Mm-hmm. We'll take the limo. It'll be great. Foreshadowing.
So good.
All right.
So good.
Outside of all of this stuff, the show, the racing, it's you know, for everybody. I think one of our text threads that started out with, it has been a year. Yeah, it has been a year. But our listener Jason Hopkins said he got to go to New Zealand and meet some of the racing family down there, and it was his first trip outside of North America, and it was definitely a great adventure. Good on you. Expand those horizons. Thanks for sharing that with us. Chris, did you meet anybody this year?
Not really.
What are you pointing to, Tim? A puppy?
No,
Oh.
she's trying to crawl outside of the scope of the camera. You are so dead when she sees that on YouTube.
My wife was literally, she just got back to the room from her mom's room, and she was like trying to like sneak by to the bedroom. She was bear crawling on the ground.
I just did the door.
It's
The door
just
open.
yeah. Just have her walk by, wave like Vicky used to do when I had this set up in the living room, and everybody just goes, "Hi, Vicky. Hi, Amy.
She tried
Hello,
so
Amy."
hard. She tried so hard.
Oh, hey, speaking
got
of people, Tim.
Yeah. Speaking of people, some of the things that I'm most thankful for, of course, are my wonderful family and my wife, and I'm looking forward to Christmas coming up. I'm going to go visit all my family in Florida. My mom, my stepfather, my dad, my stepmom, my 96-year-old grandma, bunch of aunts and uncles and cousins and new babies that I haven't seen yet. So I'm super thankful for being able to sneak away and go and do that. So that's one of the things that I am really, really looking forward to and feel super, super blessed about.
That's fantastic. Cool. All right.
I didn't meet anybody new.
I don't think I've met anyone new this year, or if I did, I apologize. I've got it in my head that I already knew you, but a dozen, if not 24 times this year, I've sat down with someone I knew, so a listener of the show or a casual acquaintance or somebody on this, and we ended up in much deeper conversations than I expected when I started talking to them. And it has just been this really wonderful, expansive experience of coming to appreciate the people in my life. And so if you've been one of those people and we sat down and had a really long conversation about your thoughts and beliefs, we're in a bit of a divisive time right now. And I never felt it even with people that I don't agree with on certain points. We've always sat down and had respectful and engaging and important conversations. So I got to know a lot of really good people really well. And that has really been a positive impact on me. And I appreciate everyone that took the time to sit down and talk to me.
I think a quick mention for Vandenball Zach is somebody that was really cool to spend some time with this year. Pour one out for him. He was just such a nice guy and just a gentle soul trying to make everybody happy, and like talk about not being afraid to take on something challenging. Like he went all in. So it's a quieter paddock without him in it. So we miss you, Zach.
We do. To that end, though, and what would have happened? Rusty taking up Zach's kind of banner, and just running with that one. And I remember when they started on the West Coast last year, and that whole thing is just watching him take this and run with it has been amazing. And
he's over 25K, I think, in his fundraiser. Yeah.
And it's
awesome.
The literal making lemonade out of lemons kind of a deal, but taking a bad situation and just putting a positive spin on it, and getting to see him do that a couple of times this year has been awesome.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to places.
You go first, Chrissy,
Chris and
before
I
Chris
both-
talks.
Me and Chris both have the same one. It's got to be France. So there's that epic trip. Yep.
I got Chris, to go anything to add to that.
He's shaking his head, listeners. All right. I got to spend a lot of time in California this year, especially at the beginning of the year, running up and working on some different vehicles, and also not racing. So I have no interest in living there, and that's not a political statement. It's a financial one because I couldn't afford to live where I want to in California. But I am learning to appreciate that. I have spent hours and hours and hours driving through the Central Valley this year. And it's pretty. I got to go to Imperial Beach, and, a friend of mine told me that it was whole San Diego thing is just a glorified border town because everybody's just laid back. That was a lot of fun. I have developed an appreciation for the Bay Area. So I am now find myself bristling a little bit when people who don't go there are like, it's all just garbage and millionaires and criminals. I've done that. So hanging out in Oakland with Chuck, and then all that time we spent in the Driven Garage, and Jeff and Deb for hosting me in their house, and all the restaurants and the food around there. And that's just that is a pretty part of the country if you're looking for it.
I agree. I live there. It's got its spots that aren't great, but it's got its spots that are really cool. And Mental and I have both turned a wrench or two at Jeff's place, and we've got a lot more to do there to get the Chevy Love up and running. But it's cool. It's a cool spot. It's a cool spot for sure.
I still remember showing up at your place at, I want to say 10:30, and it was just 30 minutes before the Australian Grand Prix had started, and ordered a pizza, and Tim and Amy had drinks waiting on me when I walked through the door, and we watched Lando out-qualify everybody. It was a fantastic time.
I was like, I don't drink tequila, but which one would you like? I have many.
Yeah.
Super fun. Well, Amy and I will go back in time to 2002 when we met. We met on a ski trip in Copper Mountain, Colorado, back when it was a Club Med, and we went and did a little revisit back this past year. And while we were there, we were chatting with one of the employees, and the building, which was the Club Med at the time, is now like the employee housing section. And she was so sweet. She was like, well, do you guys want to like go back and check it out? And we're like, yeah, that would be awesome. So we went into the building. We were like walking around. We're like, oh yeah, like that's where the restaurant was, and that's where the bar was, and blah blah blah. So we got to like literally go back in time and try to remember all the things when we met, which was super, super fun. So that was a place that I didn't think we'd ever go back and see again, because it had been off the market for a while. So super, super thankful for that. That was fun.
That is fantastic. I know you guys didn't have anything on here. Any experiences?
France.
Fiddling around with your new Lotus, your low cost thing? Nothing?
Haven't touched it yet.
We pushed it a lot. We've towed it. We've pushed it. We pushed it in. We cleaned it up. We pushed it out. We towed it out. We pushed it up the driveway. We pushed it up the street. We put it in the trailer. We pushed it out of the trailer. We put it in the garage, and that's where it sits.
That's like my experience with all of my projects. I push everything. It's great.
I guess that's an experience. Sure.
I feel like we need to play the Missy Elliott song right now.
Oh.
What about you, Mental?
Well, you go with yours here.
All right. Well, outside of racing, I got to play in some super fun golf stuff this year. I got to play in a golf tournament in Maine, where with my buddy Ray and his member guest in Austin. I got to play in a super fun event at Pebble Beach in a fundraising event for PGA Hope, which is something that is near and dear to my heart. It is a nonprofit that raises money to provide free golf instruction to veterans. It's an awesome way to get them out of the house and reconnected with other people. Not too different than what like Ranger Road does, right? It's these men and women that just, they need some kind of lifeline to drag them out of the house. It's too easy to just shut the door and not go anywhere. So it's crazy how golf can be such a stupid game. Like golf can be such a, the adhesive to get them back into life and to know each other and get to want to talk to other people. So that was super, super cool. And in the one event I played with my buddy Ray in Maine, we ended up winning our flight. And the only thing more impressive than that was our bar tab at the end of the week. So that was expansive. So happy to support the club.
Oh, so It's been a year. It's been a hard year. And this is, where the hippie feels aspect of this show really come into play. I am, if this is going to surprise literally no one who has met me, but I am late life diagnosed neurodivergent ADHD. I probably figured it out in my 30s and then just ignored it right up until 49. And then it was just not working for me anymore. And I finally had to go see a professional, and I've been making progress on that. And there's been the occasional setback and the snap on that. And I'm working through that morass. And in doing so, I have opened glimpses of my existence up to people that I respect and that are close to me. And one of the consistent things that I've heard from all of them is you have to look after your mental well-being. And people that I think are powerful of mind and powerful of body and powerful of resolution have admitted that they are seeking professional help or that they are in therapy. So this year, after fighting with the VA, I began therapy myself. And so I am thankful that these people brought that to me. And it's even having started it, I don't know if it's my generation or if it's a military thing or just, dumb alpha personality type, that we still kind of want to keep that hidden. And the people that have shared that with me, they understand that there's still an environment where you might get mocked or made fun of, or it's the trope of sitcoms, but they're trusting me with that knowledge, and they're telling me what good it's done has inspired me to do so. So if you're listening to this and you're wrestling with something and you think you don't need a professional, or that that's admitting defeat or a weakness, just look at it as when you're wrenching on the car and you get to a problem you can't solve, you go inside, you get on YouTube. And if you can't find the answer there, you get on the message boards. And if you can't find the answer there, you take it to a professional, you talk to a professional. And if you don't have your mental health, you don't have any of that. You can't fully appreciate the wonderful people in your life because you are not operating at your best. And if something's bothering you, you need to look into that, and it doesn't even have to be a permanent thing. You can just talk to somebody, and it's not starting from scratch. What I have discovered in my journey is that, believe it or not, I actually kind of had the 90% solution. I just needed someone with an objective set of eyes to point out one or two things and just give me a few tips and tricks. And it has just made an immense difference in my life. And I am thankful for that. And I'm thankful for the people that trusted me with their mental health journey. They've inspired me. And if you are in a place where you think you need to talk to somebody, I would encourage you to do so. It's not weakness. It's not defeat. It is exactly what you would do in any other situation. Your house, your cooking, your golf game. When you get to a point where you're not happy with the progress you're making and you're not solving the problem, it's time to bring in a consultant. So there's the hippiest of the hippie feels.
I agree, Mental. From what I've seen working with the vets in this program, like, it takes more strength to actually address it than it does to just push it away. So, like, I'm proud of you for doing it, and good on you, because it's not an easy road to go down, but it's the right one.
Yay?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to say yay.
Yes.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yay. Let's go with
yay.
Yay.
Yay is right.
Yay is right. Yay is right. If you're listening to this, we'd like you to keep listening to this. That's why we want you to stay around. So, yeah.
Yeah, come racing with us. Like,
yeah.
Enjoy it. Do all the things.
And speaking of keeping people around, it's time for...
Chris, start now.
Just
Okay, so I have been working with a young lady and learning to drive. So we're thinking, both of us are thinking about every aspect that happens when you drive. But one of the biggest things that I'm going to make a request to all of you listeners is that if you are coming up on somebody who is either driving a little bit slowly or takes a corner a little bit slowly, or it seems that they are maybe not, they're going slower than you think that you should plan, um, consider that they might be a new driver. So I, yeah, somebody is banging on their keyboard or something. So yeah, so just give a little patience. You could, we should assume that they might be a teenager who is distracted, or somebody who's mom who's yelling about kids in the back seat, or somebody who's just literally not paying attention. But those people could also be a new driver. So give them a second, and just try to assume that they will get out of your way soon enough. Give them a second, get around them when you can. But the intimidation factor can make a new driver more concerned, make them mess up, that kind of thing. So just looking for a little patience around drivers when everything is something that you're thinking of when you are you're coming up to a place where you need to turn across traffic, and all of us brake. We turn our signal on, we brake appropriately, we know how to make the turn. But when you're a new driver, all of those things is a task, something that you really have to think about. And so, the order of operations, and did I slow down too much, or do we go too fast? And when I went into this corner and now I have too much speed, these are the things that you're just like, oh, I do that so many times, so much that I just don't even think about it. But when you are new at this, it's not natural for now. So just give drivers, if they're seeming to be slow and in your way, just give them a second, get out of their way, just get around them, but be safe about it, and don't always use the intimidating factor.
Yeah.
Are you talking about on the road or on the racetrack?
Yes.
I feel like there's some parallels there.
Yeah, and I talk about racecraft more than I probably should, but there are so many different aspects that are applicable to both, and some of them that I learned because of being on the racetrack. So yes, both, but I'm literally thinking of on the road, especially when you're coming down a country road, or you're coming into town or something like that, and there's other cars around, that it can, none of that stuff comes naturally to new drivers. So just give a second.
So tailgating someone in your F-350 doesn't help the situation? I'm shocked.
It doesn't, especially when you're in a beat up car to start with. Then you could just assume that it might be beat up because it's a driver doesn't know exactly where her car is, so she didn't hit anything. But that was their.
No, I hear you. Yeah. Look, not everyone's as good as you.
If you see a Nissan Altima with non-matching body panels, give it a wide berth. Lesson 2.
Anyway.
Period. Yeah.
Yes.
That's not patience. That's self-preservation. But patience is it's a macro or a micro application of you don't know what battles someone else is fighting. So how about you not add to the chaos and just pull back, pull a car length on there. I know you think you're that important, but you're not. You can give up a couple of minutes until they figure out where they're going to go, and then you'll go around.
I can't say that I haven't said, like, what are you doing? And now I'm like, okay, well, they could just not be paying attention at all. But you never know. They might be struggling to figure out how to drive carefully for whatever reason. So give them a second.
As you're talking about this, Chrissy, I'm reflecting on driving here in St. Thomas and how impossible it would be to teach somebody how to drive here. Like, if you've never been to St. Thomas, you drive a left-hand vehicle on the wrong side of the road where the roads are potholed and on cliffs and in terrible condition, and everyone drives 1,000 miles an hour, and there's chickens running around.
Keep your left arm in the bushes and you're doing okay.
It is chaos. It is chaos. And I'm like, I wonder how people learn to drive here. Like, every car is beat up. Like,
Well,
is
they're probably
not a
all
nice
learning.
car here.
And they're learning from each other. So they're all just learning this
Yeah.
exactly what you said to do. So then when somebody who comes from another country and is not used to how those people learn, then I can see why it would be concerning.
1 plus 2 is 2. Yes. Ugh. That's so fun, though. I'm glad you're doing that. That's a cool experience.
Yeah, she wants to drive and she doesn't have the opportunity to do so. So it's the least I can do.
You're making the world a better place.
Yep.
As I do.
Oh.
Okay.
What are we talking about next?
Somebody came up with a whole plan. So we're actually on, like, we have a plan.
That's alarming. It's unsettling. Yes.
We're
But
not telling you what it is, but we know what it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's true.
Tim, what is it?
I'm not telling anybody. You're gonna have to tune in
and
and
find
listen.
out.
Yeah.
But it's in green. That means you have to read it.
Oh, all right. We've got the Wine Country Throwdown. It's all about the penultimate Lemons race of 2024 coming up at Sonoma. So we're thankful here for all of you and for everything that we do here in the racing world, but the judges are going to be extra thankful at Sonoma. So, come on down, don't be a turkey, and enjoy yourself.
Don't
Extra thankful. That's a phrase. I like that one.
We're all like mashed potatoes and gravy.
Absolutely. Chris, do you have anything? We'll give you a couple of seconds then we'll go around the horn.
Nope. I'm good.
Good talk.
All right. Chrissy?
No, we're good.
All right. Thanks again, everybody. Here we go.
Thanks for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you will join us in the world of driving, racing, and building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It's totally free. Then go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. Even if you hated us, give us 5 stars and tell us why. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop us a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can still text us at 484-243-0455. Find us on Instagram at everyone.racers, YouTube and Facebook under Everyone Racers, or even Reddit at /E1R. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the shiny side up, unless, like us, there is no shiny side, then just keep those wheels down.